The month of May is officially here, but if you step outside in Ontario, it certainly does not feel like spring has sprung. In fact, we are starting the month on a very unsettled and chilly note thanks to a massive upper-level trough that is essentially locked in place over the province. This system is getting reinforced as we head through this first week of May, and it is bringing a very unseasonable threat of snowfall back into the conversation. Now, while snow in May might sound like a bad joke, it is actually a reality we are tracking primarily for northern Ontario. We are looking at the potential for 5 to 10 plus centimeters of accumulating snow in the north over the coming days. Even for central Ontario, there is a high probability of seeing wet flurries mixed in with the rain. Now you might be wondering if this is normal. For places like Kapuskasing, seeing about 6 centimeters of snow in May is statistically average, but for Toronto the average is usually 0. The city of Toronto should typically be seeing highs in the mid-teens this time of month, climbing toward the 20s by the end of May, but this year the cold air descending from the north is going to keep us well below those marks. Across southern Ontario, the theme is unsettled and rainy. While we may not see the heavy accumulations of the north, the persistent dampness and cool breeze will make it feel much more like late March than early May. Overnight lows are also expected to be noticeably lower than they should be, so keep those heaters and warm coats ready as we navigate this very cold start to the month. Taking a look at the bigger picture across this beautiful country of ours as we transition from April into the first weekend of May, we are seeing a dramatic contrast between the east and the west. It is truly a tale of two different seasons depending on which side of the Rockies you call home. While Ontario and Quebec are shivering under the cold upper-level trough, Western Canada is enjoying a glorious ridge of high pressure that is bringing a true taste of summer. Out west, the weather story is all about the heat and the sunshine. We are looking at temperatures in the 20s for multiple locations across British Columbia and Alberta. Through the interior of BC, we could even see some spots hitting the 30-degree mark by the weekend. It is a massive bubble of warmth that is making things feel very summer-like. However, there is a downside to this beautiful weather. Drought conditions persist across BC and Alberta, and this rapid warming will lead to significant snowmelt, which we will be monitoring closely for any localized runoff issues. Aside from some light moisture trickling across the Rockies into northern Alberta, it is a very dry and bright stretch for the west. In the middle of the country, Manitoba and Saskatchewan find themselves right at the cutoff point between the warmth of the west and the chill of the east. Saskatchewan is enjoying highs around 17 degrees, while just a bit further east near Lake Superior the conditions flip to rain and even some snow. Manitoba and Saskatchewan are getting a nice break from organized active weather through Friday, though we will see some rainfall begin to push into northern Manitoba as we head into the weekend. Shifting back toward the east, the weather maker we are tracking is a persistent one. We have a significant system moving up the St. Lawrence Valley and into Atlantic Canada. This setup has the potential to dump over 50 millimeters of rain in some locales. For the Maritimes, the rain will progress from the southwest up the Bay of Fundy and along the southern shores of Nova Scotia. Expect some heavier pulses of rain through Fredericton, Moncton, and up toward Miramichi. This moisture will eventually reach Prince Edward Island and Cape Breton before moving toward Newfoundland. Newfoundland, you are actually the lucky ones in the east for the moment, as you will hold on to some relative warmth through the weekend while the rest of the Atlantic provinces stay just below normal. However, that cooler air will eventually catch up to you by Monday. Across southern Quebec and the St. Lawrence, the rain will continue to lift from Montreal toward Quebec City. Even when the organized rain clears out, it will remain breezy and cool with hit or miss showers persisting through the weekend. The national summary for this first weekend of May is a stark divide. We have a bullseye of heat and dry conditions over BC and Alberta, while a giant upper-level low swings across the Great Lakes, keeping Manitoba, Ontario, and Quebec about 5 to 10 degrees below where they should be for this time of year. It is a slow start to spring for the eastern half of the country, but a fast forward into summer for the west. We will continue to track these systems as the trough slowly tries to move out and the western ridge tries to push east. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for further updates on this shifting May pattern.